helping others, and giving back. Wonderful things, right? So this is a really beautiful topic to kind of think about because it's really important, right? And this is something that for many of us, myself included, doesn't always come very naturally, right? Sometimes we have to really try to like give back or to help other people, right? If we're not feeling like doing it or something like that, right? And so part of the difficulty in giving back, helping others, comes down to a lack of recognition of how important everybody is in our life, right? Now, if you've been around for a while, we've done this gratitude class a lot. I think we're going to do that meditation today. But that's what this is about, right? That whole gratitude meditation is all about realizing how vital everybody is in making your day possible, right? From the people that built your house to the people that made the tools that made it possible to build the house, the people that, created fruit that you have bought, right? All these people are involved in your life and making your day possible, right? And so how does this kind of stem back to giving, right? So if we don't realize the importance somebody has, then our inclination to help or to give, it's not always there, right? But like, think about if your best friend was like, "Hey, can I have a dollar?" Right? You'd be like, "Yeah, here, take it. Here's $5." I don't know, right? It's a very different response than if it's somebody maybe you're passing by who is presumably homeless, right? There's some hesitation, right? And we're going to talk about ways we can give that aren't resource-based, because that's usually where our mind goes. So it's really important to start to think about, right? Just kind of a thought experiment about all the people involved in making your life possible, right? Making the things you do each day possible. Driving is countless. There's a million things. And then the other thing that can be difficult in kind of developing our natural inclination to help, to give back, is intention, right? So we'll talk a good amount about this in a bit, but we can give without really wanting to, right? Without our intention for benefiting other people being there, right? And I'll get into why that's really important for developing our kind of natural kindness. That's what we're after, right? So let's talk a little bit about types of giving, right? And the first one is giving resources that we're going to talk about. And this is the one that when we think about giving, this is the one that we think about, right? So I mentioned before, passing somebody who is presumably homeless, giving them $1, like giving resources, right? Or donating our clothes, giving resources, right? This is something that we commonly associate with giving and can be very beneficial to other people. And sometimes we might get a little hung up, like, I don't want to part with this thing, or I don't want to, give, money to this, this homeless person, right? And something we can do to kind of check ourselves, right, is think about all the people that have given us resources in order for us to succeed, right? So this kind of gratitude, recognizing how important other people have been in our life, is going to come back a lot. It's a good theme for today. And we can recall on that theme in terms of giving resources, and might motivate us to be like, you know what, other people have really helped me. I think I can, afford to give this person $1, right? Or whatever it might be, right? But we might not be in a position where that's possible, right? It's not uncommon, right? We can't do that, right? So are there other ways that we can give? What about giving time? That's a good one, giving time. So what about like volunteering, right? we're giving our time. Formally and informally volunteering, right? Helping a friend move, that's what I would consider an informal volunteer. Maybe you voluntold. But giving our time to somebody by helping them move or something like that, that's giving time. Volunteering at some sort of an organization, this is giving time. Listening to somebody when they're having some problems, giving time, right? Giving time is a really beautiful way to give. I always think about this one quote from the fictional sci-fi writer. And he says, time is our total capital. It's kind of brilliant, right? Like, what is the thing we always want more of? Time. Why do we want more time? Right? So giving time, it's such a valuable commodity. So giving it is a really powerful way of giving back, helping others. And we might think, I don't have time. I'm too busy to help, so-and-so move or whatever, right? And again, we can use this concept of gratitude to check ourselves, right? And we can think, how many people have given time to me to make my life possible, right? To make all these things that I'm doing possible, right? The things that I have possible, right? Our teachers, right? They have spent a lot of time with us, right? They have given a lot of time to us, our teachers, right? Parents, right? Friends, everybody, the grocery store clerk, right? Bringing up our groceries, giving time to us, right? So again, this is a good way of checking to see, like, hey, you know what? People have done this for me. Can I find a way to give some time back, right? Maybe you don't have a lot of time to give back, right? Are there other ways that you can give? And the third thing we're going to talk about, the third kind of form of giving, I guess, and that's really what our focus is going to be on our meditation and our discussion today, is giving love. That's what I would refer to it as. And you might be like, well, that sounds really corny, or I don't know, nebulous. Like, what is that? Right? Or like, it's like thoughts and prayers, right? No, not really. So I define giving love as actively bettering yourself for the purpose of benefiting other people. Right? Actively bettering yourself for the purpose of benefiting other people. Right? So we can kind of go back to what we were talking about earlier with familiarity. Right? Familiarizing our mind with being calm, right, means that we'll be able to be calm more often. And when we're calm, we give better advice. We're more available to other people, right? So this kind of gets into the intention aspect, that our intention for training in meditation can be to help ourselves, but we can also use it to motivate us to help others, to give. And this is what I would consider giving love, right? And the goal here with giving love is to develop a familiarity with how important other people are. That way we naturally want to benefit them, right? It'll come more naturally to us. Right now, we have to work pretty hard at doing that, right? But if we familiarize ourselves with that, it becomes easier, right? So why is this so important? Why is this concept so important? There's a couple of reasons. One, it's limitless, right? We have limited resources. We have limited time. I wish we didn't, but we do, right? But giving love is limitless, right? Because predominantly it starts as a mental action, right? And aside from that, it's really kind of the catalyst for all other forms of giving. Right? What do I mean by that? So mental actions, right? When we talk about giving resources, when we talk about giving time, a lot of this is like physical based, right? And with giving love, there's a mental component. We have to kind of want to do this, right? For all physical actions in your life, whether it's walking, whether it's giving somebody a hug, it doesn't matter, literally anything. prior to the physical action, there is a mental action that says, do this, hug this person, console this person, right? Give, right? The mental action is the catalyst to the physical action, right? If there were no mental component, we'd just be kind of sitting there like this. We wouldn't really be doing much, right? So training in bettering ourselves through mental action, right? Setting intentions to do this for the benefit of other people, right? Familiarizing our mind with this kind of stuff. It's the catalyst for us being able to actually put it into action, right? If we don't want to do something, it's very hard for us to do it. I don't know if you've noticed that. I certainly have struggled with that myself. So this is kind of a way of motivating us and also training us to have the inclination to help others come more naturally, right? And then the third reason why this is really so important is it makes our physical acts of kindness genuine, right? We don't have to think too hard to think about times that other people or ourselves have given resources or time, but like didn't really want to, right? Like a beneficial physical action with kind of a disingenuous mental action, right? Let's say we're walking down the street and we see somebody who's, homeless, presumably, and we're walking with our boss, right? And we're like, oh man, this will look good. This will look good for the head honcho. I'll give this person $1, right? Then they'll think I'm a great person, right? So like we're the physical action is there, but like what's our intention? Is our intention really to help, or is our intention to look good in front of our boss, right? Giving time, right? Do we feel, somebody asks us to help them move, do we feel obligated to do that? Right? Or we're like, like begrudgingly going and helping our grandma move or something like that, right? So the physical action is there, but the mental reason for doing it is murky, right? And as long as our intentions are murky, kindness will not come naturally to us, right? Because we can do those actions, but in our mind, we're like, I don't want to do that. That's not fun for me. I don't like this. This isn't beneficial to me, right? So when we repeat that over and over again, what happens? That becomes where our mind goes to naturally. This isn't beneficial to me. I don't want to do it, right? So training in giving love, training in meditation, training in bettering our, being able to kind of take control of our own thoughts and our own mind, it is a really wonderful way of giving. Because it is the first stop for being able to be available to others and to give, right? Does that make sense? Is that kind of cool? So like sometimes we think that giving's hard, and it can be, right? But there are a lot of different ways we can approach this, right? And you being here tonight is one of them, right? Training, starting your kind of journey into training your mind. That way you can dictate what you want to focus on, what's going to be important to you, right? Okay, cool. So the meditation I would like to do is the one on gratitude. We've done this a bunch of times. I think it's probably my favorite. It's definitely super, it's one that I have found to be really powerful. And the goal of this meditation is to start to recognize the importance other people play in our own life. Why? Because if we recognize the importance of somebody, we have like natural compassion for them. We naturally want to help them, to see them succeed, to thrive, right? And so if we can start to do this if we can widen the net of people that we feel this way about, well, now we're giving back in a much grander scale. We are helping others at a much grander scale. So this is a really good first stop. Can never express too much gratitude. I would have to agree. Okay. Any other questions on anything we talked about before we do this meditation? Our second meditation. If you think of something afterwards, that's fine. Okay. So the way this is going to work, we're going to start very similar to what I keep hitting my microphone. We're going to start very similar to what we did before. Just we're going to relax a little bit, get our mind in a nice, clear, peaceful state. Just a little. It doesn't have to be like we're super peaceful, but just a little bit more relaxed, right? And then we're going to. I'm going to lead us through this meditation on gratitude and giving. Okay, sound good? Cool. Okay, sit comfortably. Good time to change your seating arrangement if you're not happy with the previous seating arrangement for your last meditation. All right. You can go ahead and close your eyes, and you can follow along with what I'm saying. We're going to do a short breathing meditation followed by a short meditation on gratitude. Okay. Let's just check in with ourselves once again, very quickly. How are you feeling now? Just notice. You don't have to act. Just notice. And having checked in, you can turn your full attention once again to your breath, breathing in and out of your nose. A very gentle and natural breathing. Following each moment of your breath. Following the air as it enters your nose, sits, and then exits. Single pointedly focused on breathing in and out. And if you find that you're getting distracted, thinking about something that happened earlier or something that's coming up later, no big deal. Whenever you notice that this has happened, just gently guide your attention back to breathing. Breathing in, breathing out, enjoying each moment of your breath. Maybe we're starting to plug into some sensations about our breath. Maybe how the air feels cool, temperature-wise, each time we breathe in. And how that same air feels warmer each time we breathe out. Shoulders rising, falling, chest expanding, contracting. Our whole body an active participant in each moment of our breath. When you start to single-pointedly focus on something, you start to notice some of the subtle joys of that activity. You are now noticing some of the subtle joys of breathing. You are learning to enjoy something as simple and basic as breathing in and out. And having relaxed our mind a little bit, having cleared away some of those raindrops that were obscuring the reflection of the lake, we can now use our more clear mind to think about something. And today we're going to think about the importance of gratitude and recognizing kindness in other people. So just follow along with this meditation. This morning, you presumably woke up in a home or apartment. Who built that home or apartment? Other people. Who made the tools that made it possible for the builders to construct your home or apartment? Who gathered the materials to make those tools? Other people still. Maybe you woke up in your nice comfy bed. Who made that bed? The comforter, the frame, the sheets, the pillow, all designed, crafted by other people so that you can wake up feeling refreshed and ready to take on your day. How kind of them to dedicate so much time, to give so much time for us. Maybe then, after you woke up, you had some breakfast. A piece of fruit, perhaps? How many people are responsible for putting that piece of fruit in your hand? Somebody planted the seed, tended to the crops, picked the best candidates, the best fruit. Then somebody else packaged it using materials created by others. And then that package was probably driven by somebody very long distance to get to a grocery store managed by other people still. A grocery store that is painstakingly organized in order for you to be able to walk in, get the piece of fruit that you like, and go about your day. All these people involved. All these people necessary in putting this piece of fruit in your hand. And we might think to ourselves, yeah, but I paid for the fruit with my money. Where did you get that money? From your employer, perhaps? Your employer who has chosen you over countless other candidates. How kind of them to choose you. You might think, yeah, but I was the best candidate. That's why I got the job. Who taught you the skills that made you the best candidate? Who taught you how to read, how to write, how to dress yourself, how to present yourself in public? Our teachers, our parents, our friends, TV shows, others taught us these things. We were not born with any of these skills. They were taught to us. People gave their time and resources to us. If we were to give back everything that has been made possible, given to us by other people, we would have absolutely nothing. Even perfect strangers are critical in making our life possible. Isn't it a good use of our time to think about this, to train in this? That way we have natural compassion, a natural inclination to give, to help others, just as others have helped us. Giving love, a commitment, an immovable commitment to bettering ourselves for the benefit of helping other people. What is more important than that? So just think about this for a little while, sit with it. And if an inclination pops up, motivation to train in this, to benefit other people, just sit with that feeling. Okay. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. How'd that go? Still here? That's one of my favorite meditations. And part of why I really love that meditation is because it is quite easy and debatably fun to do it outside of meditation, right? So I don't know about you, but I don't have time to meditate all the time. That'd be wonderful, but can't. Oregon beaches, you're so wonderful. Thank you so much. You're so wonderful. Oregon, I've been to Astoria Beach in Oregon. Beautiful. So you can do this meditation when you're not meditating, right? So I don't know, let's say you go to Starbucks or your favorite coffee place, right? Or tea. I don't know if you don't like coffee. And you get this kind of cup of coffee, right? And we might be like, oh, that's kind of cool. Thank you. It's awesome that this, barista person made this coffee for me, right? But we can go even a little deeper, right? Somebody gathered the beans. Who made this cup, right? Who designed the cup so it doesn't spill all over me, right? There's countless people involved in putting this cup of coffee in our hand, right? And the same is true for every aspect of your life. And the more that you think about this, the more that you play with this idea out in the wild, right? The more what happens? The more familiar your mind becomes with going there, right? Seeing the importance of other people. And then a beautiful byproduct of that is your natural inclination to help, to give back, right? So this is what I would try to focus on if you want to kind of improve helping others or giving back, right? Is start to think about this concept of how important other people are to your life and see if a natural inclination to pay back that kindness arises, right? Also, and I always like to mention this, right? When I teach this class, because it was something that was said to me a very long time ago. And at the time I was like, whatever. And now I'm like, man, that was really brilliant. I was working with a psychologist for my own anxiety, depression. That's how I got into meditation over a decade ago. And so I was working with this psychologist, and he said to me, if you are anxious, do something for somebody else. And I was like, what? That's dumb. At the time, I was very cynical, right? But what happens, a bonus of giving to others, right, is we feel good, right? We get out of our own head a little bit. We start to widen our world view a little bit when we're super anxious, right? When we're super concerned, our worldview is very narrow on those particular things, right? This is very good advice. And I thank him for doing that. I'm sorry I didn't take it seriously at first, but this is also is another wonderful benefit of giving, right? Okay. Rosa, what if you are a natural born giver and many who give do not show appreciation and take kindness for weakness? Wow. Interesting. This is a very deep topic, Rosa, right? Oh, wait a minute. Crystal, can't expect appreciation. You have to do without expecting anything. This is where I'm getting at. Crystal, way to go. Bravo, A+. So, Rosa, remember when we were talking before about doing kind things, like physical kind actions, but the mental component of why you're doing it is maybe not there, right? It's not aligned. It's not synergized, right? So, one of the most common discrepancies between these is when somebody doesn't say thank you or somebody doesn't show appreciation, right? And so when we get angry about that, right? If we dig a little deeper, if we investigate why that's making us angry, we start to see that, okay, well, maybe part of the reason why I did this because I expected to be acknowledged, right? If I didn't care about being acknowledged, then that wouldn't bother me, right? So part of meditation is understanding how your own mind works, right? And that takes some deep investigation into why do I react this way? Why does this way make me feel bad or good, right? So that would be something that I would think about, right? The next time maybe you're getting angry that somebody said didn't appreciate the good. They should appreciate it. I mean, it's not very kind of them not to, right? But I guess my point is try not to go into it expecting that. All right? Maybe that's the way to look at it. Ellen, we're living by example also. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And kindness is kind of contagious, infectious, right? Right? If we see somebody do something kind, we're like, oh, that was really kind. Maybe I should do that. Right? Have you ever had that? I think about that all the time. Right? So yeah, it's a really good example of leading by example. Right? Cool. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you did, come back next week. We talk about something new. I do a new topic each week. I don't know what the topic is until like 2 days before. That's just how I operate. But it'll be meditation related. Hopefully it'll be beneficial to you. And if you want, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. All my old videos are up there from past classes. And subscribing is really helpful for me. Lets YouTube know, hey, people are interested in meditation, in Keith in particular. So if you feel inclined to do that, it would be very much appreciated. And then if you're like, hey, I'm pretty into this sounds right up my alley, I also offer one-on-one virtual meditation instruction, which is really great for being able to dive into something that is particular to you, right? Everybody is here for a different reason. I got into meditation to deal with anxiety and depression, right? So maybe you did too. And that's something that you want to focus on. We can look at that in particular together, right? So that's why the one-on-ones are really great. So if that is interesting to you, just email me and we'll find a appropriate time. I'm going to put my email in the chat right now. It is keith@meditationbreaks.com. I spelled it correctly. Great. So just email me. And I also do stuff for like corporate. So if you're like, it'd be kind of cool to have a meditator come and do a little virtual session in the old office. All right. That'd be cool for me. And then you don't have to do any work. So that's double cool. Everybody wins. Ellen, we may never know in our lifetime how we affect someone's life by random acts of kindness, but we, the giver, take with us joy. Wow, that is beautiful, Ellen. And very true, right? Small acts of kindness can have massive ripple effects, right? You're walking down the street and you see a piece of trash. You're like, I should pick that up, right? It's not my job, right? Well, I don't know, it is somebody's job. So maybe if we pick that up, then maybe that person whose job it is to pick that up does not need to do that. And so they finish early. They get home to see their children before they go to bed, which they usually don't do. Like, we don't know. We don't know what the ripple effects will be. So it's better to just do it. Right? Cool. Oregon beaches. You give me hope. I have a lot of anxiety. I do too. That is why I got into meditation. Still deal with anxiety, but I can say with confidence that meditation has really helped me understand what is going on when I'm anxious and given me some great tools to help try to combat that a bit, right? So I know from personal experience how difficult that can be. So keep at it. It will help. Yep. Janelle, thank you. Tonight was great. I agree. This is one of my favorite topics. It's very practical. Go out into the world, do good. Lisa, thank you. You look forward to this every week. I look forward to this every week. Honestly, I love teaching, and I couldn't do it without you guys taking time out of your day. Giving time. Look at that. All right. You guys are giving time to me to allow me to teach, to allow me to do something that I love to do, right? That's really kind of you to do that, right? And I appreciate it. Right? So we can see this kind of giving resources, giving time, giving love throughout our life. Maybe we can expand upon each a little bit, right? All right, cool. That's all for today. Have fun meditating and helping others, giving back. And I'll catch you next week. All right? Take care.